fundamental mistakes people make when they're dealing with date and time in Excel? Well, let's just throw in a date, control semicolon, that puts in today's date, and I'm going to go for midday. I'll put in 12 o'clock. And then I'm just going to do something for the purpose of this demonstration. I'm going to say that equals that plus that. So bear with me. That will combine the two, and I'm just going to copy the formula and overwrite it with the results. So with a 1, 2, 3. The reason is I don't actually want any formulas. So there we go. We've got how most people would do it. Separate date and time. This is the time someone came to work. This is the time they clocked in. And I'm trying to get to you that you shouldn't work separately because there is no link between these two cells. They're not related to another, and it makes things exceptionally hard when dealing with date and time. So here we go. I'm now going to do a control tilde. If you're not sure what a tilde is, it's the wiggly line under your escape key, far left top. So here we go, control tilde. Now what control tilde does is it shows me the underlying data. It's not a date, it's the number 44013. And that is 44,013 days since that date. That's it. That's all a date in Excel is a number. So it's 44,013 days from that date. Time is also a number, but do you notice it's a percentage of a day? So whole numbers are days, and percentages of a number, like 24 hours, is a decimal point of that number. So already I'm sure you can see, well, if these two aren't linked, how are we meant to work on them together? So what I did is I combined them both and said add the date and the time together because both are a number. That's a whole number, days since January, and that's a percentage of a day of 24 hours. So there we go. Numbers and decimal places. And there's a reason why I'm trying to get you to look at, always work on it as the date and the time are one cell. Why? Because then your formulas can never make a mistake. The minute you've got them separate, you'll soon see how do you work on date and time. So let's control tilde back out of this and give you an example. Go and add a day to that time, which is 24 hours, a whole number. It's going to stay at 12 o'clock. It doesn't increment the day, even though I've literally added a day. If I go and say add 0.25 of a day, oh, that'll work. It'll go from 12 o'clock, I think, to 1800 hours. So it gets the quarter of a more day. But again, nothing is linked back to the date. So if I went now and said, well, what about going up to 1.25? That's a day and a quarter of a day. It goes back to 18, but my date sits there. Well, obviously it sits there. What's the relationship between these two cells? This is where the difference comes in. If I now go here and say equals that plus a day and a quarter of a day, look what happens. It not only jumps to 1600, it's also moved us on from the 1st to the 2nd of the month. So the golden rule really is even if this is behind the scenes, even if these are going to be cells you're going to hide, try and always do your calculations on one cell that is combined. You can then extract this data to make it look pretty. So let's just do that. So if I sneakily go, this cell equals that, this cell equals that, and this cell again equals that. I'm going to go and paste 1, 2, 3. And then if we control tilde now, we will see obviously that we have same data. There we go. It's all this 4014.75. Now you could simply do the following. You could go and say, right, I'd like to view that cell just as a date only. 14th of March is an example. Now it just shows the date. This cell, it's the same data, but I just want to view it differently. Let's go to time. Don't like any of my options there, so I'll customize it myself, and we'll just go for hours and minutes. And there we go. I don't want to see the seconds. Equals the text of D5, that answer, and then we'll say I'd like to see this shown as 1, 2, 3, 4 days. Close the brackets. So there you go. from my answers, which could be hidden in the background, hide the columns, however you want to format it. But at the end of the day, if I add 1¼ days for work done, 1¼ days, it is giving me the correct answer. And using that correct answer, I could show in another cell the date, the time, and even the day of the week. So this is a quick video on you must think of dates as whole numbers and time as a percentage of a whole number. That's how date and time works in Excel. Again, I said I'll be doing a later video with a lot more detail and amazing things you can do with seconds and all sorts. But this is a fundamental kickoff. Have a good day.